Hey everybody, it's Nikki Chavanelle from HawgBeat.com. I'm the managing editor over there, and it's kind of a busy time for us with the Arkansas head coaching search going on. I just wanted to give you guys a chance to send in whatever questions you may have, and I'll try to get you guys updated on the latest in this coaching search. I know that Monday was a really big day for Lane Kiffin because we got our first piece of very solid news that Arkansas had been to see Lane Kiffin in Boca Raton. The Florida Atlantic head coach is now a candidate at several programs. I've even heard he's trying to wait out the FSU situation to see what's going on there. But the latest is that it looks like there might have been some kind of hold up in conversations about Lane Kiffin within the Arkansas board and the donors. Not sure if that's going to be a long-term problem. We have heard that it is going to be fine, but Ole Miss jumps in the picture. Obviously, they fired Matt Luke. With Ole Miss jumping in the picture, it changes things a little bit. I saw that some, insiders over at Ole Miss sites, they said that Lane Kiffin would really like the Ole Miss job, and I'm not sure that he would really like it any more than the Arkansas job, except for maybe several reasons like better recruiting territory and stuff like that, and their roster is in a little better shape than Arkansas. But Arkansas athletic director Hunter Yurachek was close to making a deal with Hunter Yurachek was close to making a deal with Lane Kiffin at Houston before, so they have a relationship, and I think that Hunter Yurachek is going to do everything that he can to get him to Arkansas. He did go on some other interview trips this week. We know that he was in Pullman, or at least he landed in Lewiston, Idaho, which is not far from Pullman at all, and there was a meeting with Mike Leach at Washington State. He also saw Willie Fritz, the head coach at Tulane. He's a great head coach, but AAC head coach, that is not going to entice many Arkansas fans after what happened with Chad Morris. Pretty understandable situation there, but a good head coach nonetheless. He's coached in Texas and Georgia and Louisiana, in Missouri, I believe. So he's been quite a few places, has connections quite a few places. But I'm not trying to sell you Willie Fritz right now. I'm just saying that is why he would go see someone like that. But Lane Kiffin is still the number one guy, I've heard. The funny thing is, despite these other interviews, haven't heard much on who would be the top number 2 target. I'd like to think, given his record, it would be Mike Leach, but I'm not totally sure on that. I feel like of the other candidates, he would be maybe the easiest sell to the fan base. I don't think you want a coach that you will have to sell too hard, and I think he kind of falls in that category. A lot of people don't like him, but you can't really debate the wins and bowl games that he's gotten his teams to. So I would imagine he's number 2, but Lane Kiffin's number 1. Ole Miss wants him. Who can pay him more money? It sounds like it's not really an issue for either school at this point. Chad Morris's buyout is going to be taken care of. So it's really about how bad do you want this guy? Do you have other options that you like more? I'm blanking on if it was Butch Jones or Butch Davis at the moment, but one of the Butches has connections to heavy boosters in Arkansas, and so I know that Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation was putting out Butch Davis. Thanks, guy. He's got connections from Springdale to like John Tyson, so his name stays in the mix, even though I'm not really sure there's much to that other than that. I'm not sure that he's, gotten an interview or anything like that at this point. Haven't heard that. You guys can shoot me questions. I don't know if I've neglected any so far, but go ahead if you want to. basketball is looking great. Why is Lane Kiffin taking so long? So I think that we're going to see things move very quickly after Sunday or after Saturday, when the AAC championship game is played. Mike Norvell will then be forced to make his decision. And if it's Florida State, great for them. They missed, I think, on some other guys like Franklin. So that would be good for Florida State, but Ole Miss definitely has Mike Norvell as their top target. So if Norvell picks Florida State, then Ole Miss will likely pivot all of their effort onto Lane Kiffin. And considering Lane Kiffin is going to play on Saturday as well, I'm not sure he's being forced to really tell anyone that he's in. So there have been rumors that the deal is done with Lane Kiffin, but I'm not sure that he would really sacrifice the negotiation power that he's going to have in the next few days with Ole Miss and FSU and all that stuff going down. So I would expect a big day Sunday and probably a lot of rumors like Saturday night. I just missed a question. FSU board saying deal is done. Yeah, it very well could be. I've talked to some coaches that feel pretty sure that FSU is going to get Norvell, in which case, yeah, we do have to worry about Ole Miss. But Lane Kiffin has ties to Arkansas. He wanted to coach here before. He grew up here very briefly, so just because Ole Miss might be in a position to win more quickly doesn't mean it's the better long-term place for Lane Kiffin. And money is probably going to be a big factor for him. So hopefully it's not a bidding war, because I think both programs would probably fight pretty hard. So someone mentioned Eli Drinkwitz. He's just a guy that you have to sell so hard, and he hasn't, maybe in like 8 years, maybe he could be the next guy. I don't know. He just needs to show a lot more. Someone asked me a question about basketball, and I said and more, so I'm going to touch on it. The lack of size is definitely going to come into play. The schedule is about to get a lot tougher. Depth, okay, so someone mentioned depth. I'm not sure it's about like minutes or whatever. These guys can play as many minutes as they need to. It's not like they're playing games every other day, but the size is going to become an issue, especially if their shots aren't falling. Luckily, they hit, I think it was 8 or 9 three-pointers yesterday, so that's on the uptick. They just need to continue that and create some consistency. I'd like to see more consistency out of Reggie Chaney. I like that little bit of Ethan Henderson that we got to see last night. That was nice. Still looks like a deer in the headlights a lot of times. I will wait for any more questions, but I feel like I've hit on all the updates I can at this point that I actually feel good about. So like I said, it did sound like there was some kind of snag with some board members or donors being on top of things with Lane Kiffin, like they weren't really sold on that. Either that is still the case or that is no longer an issue. I'm hearing both things, but I think that's the guy that Hunter Yurachek definitely wants. Someone mentioned something about Barry Lunny. Love to keep him. That would be amazing. I'm gonna end this, but you guys can always send me more questions on Twitter, or you can get on HawgBeat. You can always get 30 days free if you've never joined. You can get 30 days free with code HAWGS30. Thanks, everybody.